Hey everybody, quick message, our emotions are not to be displayed to all. You also have to remember, do not make all your decisions with your emotions. Some situations require intellect or mental space to make the correct decision, which um, will need to be calculated. Will make, you have to take and put all the information and put it to and look at it, and evaluate it. And if you use your emotions, um, sometimes you're not going to get the right outcome. When you use your emotions for things that require intellect, um, you allow your buttons to be pushed. When you allow yourself to be in an emotional state that really requires intellect, that's when your buttons are going to be pushed. And it's just going to be like a controller or remote control, and you'll be the one getting played. Every button pushed, you're going to react emotionally, which is going to be for a bad outcome. The other way you can kind of misstep is using intellect where emotions and spirituality are needed. Um, that's where you'll walk around and find yourself, I miss the whole point of it all. Um, and that's where emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence comes into play. You need them all. You just need to know when to use them. When things require intellect and require you just to be in a mental capacity just to do what you're doing, you need to use your intellect. And you need to figure out which one it is, because your buttons are going to be pushed no matter what. But you have to remember, where am I at? Where am I at? Who am I talking to? Does this require me to be emotionally invested, spiritually invested, or does it require my intellect? Sometimes, depending on what field you're in, it may be difficult to distinguish. And some of us walk around more emotionally aware, more spiritually aware than others, but also have intellect as well. Um, but this is something that can help some. If you find yourself getting frustrated, you need to check, are you emotionally looking at it and allowing others and things outside yourself to push your buttons, or are you walking in your intellect? Um, and there's a difference in every situation, every person. You need to know, what should I be using? How should I be going about this? Because not every situation calls for you to be emotional. To bring your personal feelings into it. Um, and if you can't take your emotions out of something, then you need to figure out where you need to be, because every situation just calls for something different. Every person requires or needs something different. Anyway, I'd say if you ever find yourself getting your buttons pushed in a place or a situation where you know you should be just using your intellect, and you're not in a place where you should be using your emotional or spirit, your spiritual side in that moment, um, this is how I react when I know my buttons are being pushed, especially purposely, or information that I don't want to discuss or I don't want to talk about, or I feel like it's not for me. I'll say, that's strange. That's odd that you would say that. That's bizarre that you would say that. Because to me, if there's something that I have not discussed with a certain person or people, and I don't want to talk about that, or I feel like it's not my business to be all up in that, bringing me to an emotional state, that's what I can do. I don't have to talk with you or this person or that person about personal things, emotional things. If I'm in a place where I'm literally supposed to be intellectually involved, just mentally involved with things, then this is how I come at it. That's odd. That's strange. That's bizarre. It stops the conversation from going any further. Um, I just challenge anybody to use those. If someone comes to me with information that I don't want to talk about, I don't want to go into my personal business. I don't want to know their personal business. I don't want to know others around me personal business. It kind of makes everybody look at the situation and say, "Whoa, maybe there's an overstep. Maybe too much is too much. Maybe I said too much. Maybe you did." And if you don't want to get involved, just say, "That's odd. That's strange. That's bizarre. I'm surprised that you would come talk to me about that." All right, y'all. When we